They told you that your exhaustion was just getting older. They told you that your thyroid tests were normal while you couldn't get out of bed.
But Barbara O'Neill claims there is a hidden hormonal cascade that the medical industry is ignoring. Today, we're revealing the truth behind her salt and water protocol. But pay attention, because there is one specific ingredient Barbara leaves out that could make or break your results. We will reveal that missing link at the end of this video.
Dr. Sterling, my social media feed is completely taken over by one woman, Barbara O'Neill. She's telling everyone that the secret to a perfect metabolism is just salt and water. In Japan, my grandmother used to say salt is the bone of the blood, but as a modern doctor, do you think this is actually science, or just a very well-marketed trend? I know a lot of you watching are curious too. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.
It's the question of the year. Barbara O'Neill has become a global phenomenon because she speaks about the body's self-healing mechanism. As a medical professional, I've spent the last few weeks reviewing her lectures on the hormonal cascade. What I found is fascinating. She is touching on fundamental biological truths that Western medicine often overlooks because they are too simple to be profitable. By the way, if you're finding this medical breakdown helpful so far, hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who are tired of being told their labs are normal.
Too simple to be profitable. I like the sound of that. But for the person watching this who woke up today feeling like they have lead in their limbs, is Barbara offering a real bridge to health, or just another false hope? We have a big reveal coming at the end of this video regarding a missing ingredient in this protocol, so stay with us.
I believe she's offering a bridge, but we have to make sure the bridge is built on solid ground. Today, we aren't just summarizing her work. We are going to do a deep dive medical review. We're going to look at the Eastern wisdom of your Japanese heritage and the Western cellular biology that explains why putting salt on your tongue might actually be the smartest thing you do all day.
I'm ready. Let's break the hormonal cascade down. Where does the traffic jam actually start? Barbara says the thyroid isn't the only thing to blame for low energy. She points to the liver. Why is a doctor interested in the liver when we're talking about hormones?
Because Kiko, most people who feel exhausted go straight to their doctor and ask for a thyroid test. They think the thyroid is the boss. But in reality, the thyroid is more like a remote control center. It sends out a signal called T4. But here is the secret. T4 is an inactive hormone. It's like a letter that hasn't been opened yet. To get the energy in your cells, that letter has to be opened. It has to be converted into T3.
And let me guess. That conversion doesn't happen in the thyroid?
Exactly. About 60% of that opening or conversion happens in the liver. Another 20% happens in the gut. If your liver is what Barbara calls congested, or what I would call an overburdened phase 2 detoxification pathway, the conversion stops. You can have a perfectly healthy thyroid, but if your liver is struggling, your body never gets the message to burn fat or create energy.
This resonates so much with Japanese traditional medicine. We view the liver as the general. It's the organ that directs the flow of a ki, or life force. If the general is stressed, the whole army, every other organ, just sits and waits. We call this stagnation. If you're learning something new, take a second to share this video with a friend who's always exhausted.
The science backs that up perfectly. When the liver is backed up with environmental toxins, processed seed oils, or even just chronic stress hormones, like cortisol, it deprioritizes thyroid conversion. It's a survival mechanism. Your body thinks it's in a crisis, so it slows your metabolism to save resources. Barbara's focus on unclogging the liver is medically sound. If you don't fix the liver, you will never fix the thyroid. If you've ever felt that heavy liver sensation, drop a comment below. We want to know how many of you are fighting this right now.
So when people take thyroid medication and still feel terrible, it's because they're adding more letters, more T4, but the liver still can't open them?
Precisely. You're flooding the system with a signal that can't be heard. We have to clear the noise in the liver first. And that brings us to the most controversial part of the O'Neill protocol, the salt.
Now, let's talk about the salt. I see people taking a tiny grain of gray Celtic sea salt and putting it right on the tongue before they drink water. My grandmother used to give us salted plums, omebashi, for the same reason. But why the tongue? Why not just put it in the water?
This is the part that fascinates me. Your tongue is a direct gateway to the brain and the nervous system. When you put mineral-rich sea salt on the tongue, your mucous membranes sense the magnesium and the sodium instantly. It sends a hydration signal to your cells. It tells the sodium-potassium pumps on your cell membranes to prepare for an influx of water.
Wait. So if I just drink water without the salt, the cells aren't ready?
Most people are surface-level hydrated, but cellularly dehydrated. Think of your cell like a dry sponge. If you pour a gallon of water on a dry sponge all at once, most of it just runs off the sides. That's what happens when you gulp down plain, filtered water. It stays in the extracellular space, the moat around the cell, which leads to bloating, puffy eyes, and constant trips to the bathroom. The water never actually gets inside the sponge.
I felt that. I'll drink 3 liters of water and still have dry skin and a headache. It's like the water is just passing through me without doing any work.
Exactly. But when you use a grain of Celtic salt, which contains 82 trace minerals, including high levels of magnesium, you're providing the osmotic key. Magnesium is a water-attracting mineral. It literally pulls the water molecules through the aquaporins, or the tiny gates in your cell walls. This is what we call structured hydration. It's the difference between flooding a field and actually watering the roots of a plant. We're halfway through, and coming up shortly, we're going to reveal that Japanese liver wash technique that speeds this process up by 10 times.
But Dr. Sterling, I have to ask, what about blood pressure? Every doctor tells us to avoid salt if we want to stay healthy. Isn't this dangerous?
That is the great medical misunderstanding of the last 50 years. There is a massive difference between table salt and sea salt. Table salt is a processed chemical, sodium chloride. It's aggressive. It causes the body to hold water in the wrong places, and yes, it can spike blood pressure. But gray sea salt is a balanced mineral complex. When you use it correctly, in tiny amounts as Barbara suggests, it actually helps the kidneys balance fluids. It's about quality, not just quantity.
There's another thing Barbara mentions that I found fascinating. She says that most people with thyroid issues are actually suffering from exhausted adrenals. She talks about how our high-stress lives are literally stealing our hormones. Does that happen in your clinic too?
This happens every single day in my clinic. This is known as the pregnenolone steal. Your body uses the same raw materials to make both your stress hormones like cortisol and your sex and thyroid hormones. If you are constantly stressed, checking emails, rushing through traffic, or even just worrying, your body steals the materials to make cortisol. It chooses survival over metabolism.
So your body thinks there's a tiger chasing you, so it doesn't care about your hair growth or your energy levels. It just wants to survive the tiger.
Exactly. And this is where the salt and water protocol helps again. Your adrenal glands are the most salt-hungry organs in your body. When you are stressed, you burn through sodium and minerals at an incredible rate. By giving your body those minerals back, you're telling your adrenal glands, the crisis is over, you are safe. It flips the switch from the fight or flight nervous system to the rest and digest system. If you're feeling wired but tired, make sure you're subscribed, because we do weekly deep dives into exactly how to shut off that stress response.
This is why in Japanese culture we have so many rituals around tea and slow movements. It's not just for Zen, it's to tell the body it's safe. But Dr. Sterling, Barbara also talks about things like castor oil packs for the liver. That sounds very messy and time-consuming. We're coming up on that missing ingredient reveal. Don't go anywhere.
It can be, and while castor oil is great, I think we can offer a more practical Eastern alternative that you've taught me, Kiko. The Daikon Reset.
I was hoping you'd bring that up. In Japan, we use raw daikon radish as a liver cleanser with almost every heavy meal. We grate it and eat a small amount. It's spicy and refreshing. My grandmother said it washes the liver after we eat fatty food.
And she was right. Raw daikon contains high concentrations of enzymes that specifically help the liver break down fats and, more importantly, spent hormones. When your body is done with a hormone, the liver has to break it down and ship it out. If that doesn't happen, the old hormones recirculate and block your thyroid receptors. It's like trying to put new mail into a mailbox that's already stuffed with junk mail.
So the daikon clears the mailbox so the new thyroid hormones can finally get through. That is so simple. So, if we combine Barbara's salt hack with our Japanese Daikon Reset, what does the daily routine look like?
It's a 3-step protocol. Step 1, upon waking, place 1 grain of gray sea salt on your tongue. Let it dissolve slightly, then drink a glass of room temperature water. Sip it slowly. Step 2, throughout the day, follow the rain on soil rule. Sip your water consistently. Step 3, with your largest meal, include a small amount of raw, grated daikon, or cruciferous sprouts. This provides the phase 2 liver support your thyroid needs to activate those hormones.
And remember, no water 30 minutes before or after a meal. We want our stomach acid to be strong enough to break down the minerals in our food. It's amazing how the science is finally catching up to these old traditions. We've put the exact mineral ratios and the list of liver-supporting foods, like the daikon, in the description below this video. Check the description box to see the full list we made for you.
Barbara O'Neill has spent 40 years teaching these principles. And while some in the medical community might scoff at a salt hack, the cellular reality is that minerals and hydration are the foundation of all hormonal health. And now, for the reveal we promised at the start. The missing link in Barbara's protocol is iodine through seaweed. Without trace iodine, the liver can't finalize the T4 to T3 conversion. Kiko's grandmother didn't just have salt, she had kelp.
Yes. Kombu and nori are in almost every Japanese dish. It's the literal fuel for the thyroid engine. We read every single comment. Thank you for being here with us. Stay balanced, and we will see you in the next deep dive. See you next time.
Because health shouldn't be a secret. It should be common sense. If you found this deep dive helpful, please join the Vibrant Senior Secrets family. Take care of your liver. It's the general of your health. Stay vibrant.